Welcome back, everybody. Welcome to that Flavor in Your Ear podcast, man. Today we got a special guest, season 2, first episode. So we're starting off with a bang. We got Mike, MDLP from Battle Axe Gym.
What's going on? Thank you very much for having me.
Oh, man, thank you for being. I'm really excited for this one.
Me too.
Because it's different.
Yeah, I think so. I was watching your stuff, and it's an honor to be here. First of all, I'm not going to fluff your balls. I think it's really cool that you invited me on this show. So I'm excited. You have a lot of athletes, and I think we're a little different than the athletes that have been on the show. So
that's why I'm excited.
Yeah.
So one thing I love about the show is real reason why I enjoy doing it, aside, I consider this a motivational podcast, right? I consider it everyone that we've had, whether it's been the athletes, the DJs, or the chefs, or anyone that we've had on here. I like the idea that people understand how they got to a journey, right? Like, it's cool to get on someone's Instagram, or like they see that's like such a fast forwarded thing to see, right? They don't know the journey, they don't know the process, they don't know the work that goes behind it. And for me, to me, it's like people that listen to this, they get motivated, right? They see like, oh man, like maybe I need to get on my shit. Maybe I'm not just running out of luck. Man, this is what it takes to open up a gym. This is what it takes to run a gym. This is what it takes to organize the gym.
Sure.
And a lot of things, or events, you know what I mean? So a lot of work goes into that. So hopefully we motivate someone today in a new way. And for me, it's just about learning.
Sure.
I just love to learn
Same.
different trades, different people, and I think it makes you a more mentally stronger person.
Absolutely. And even talking about it, every time I'm a guest, it's always flattering. But hearing what I've done and what we've done, and I say we because of the people of my gym and people who have helped me, I learned gratitude. I learned a lot of things that are qualitative, things that are easy for me, like compassion, gratitude, being grateful. But also in talking, I learned from another host. I myself have a podcast, so hearing how you do stuff, I just get really motivated. So
yeah, absolutely. And we're going to talk about that too. We're going to talk about the podcast.
Oh, sure.
Okay, so let's start beginning, right? Before Battle Axe.
BB, right?
So what do we get? You were an athlete, so rugby, Muay Thai fighting. Were these in the States? Were you?
So I got into martial arts when I was 14, which is 24 years ago. I'm 38, so that's to put it out there for whatever reasons. But martial arts was my first love.
Okay.
I did that for a while. I went to school up north, and then I came back down after I graduated, and I started to get harder into sports.
Yeah.
Muay Thai was my first choice, really. I wanted to get into fights. So when I came back from Penn State, that was my school. Go Penn State, we're 5-0.
Okay.
But I told my old coach, he said, hey, if you want to fight, you got to lose weight, because I came back a little chunky. So martial arts was my choice. I had 6 amateur Muay Thai fights. My 6th one, I was kind of done with it. I mean, I really am an obsessive person. So I would just dedicate, waking up at 4 a.m, doing the 5-mile runs. I was obsessive. I was young and I could do it. And then after that, I kind of wanted to play something else.
Yeah.
When you're a fighter, all you can do is fight.
It was like boredom?
Not boredom, just heartbreak.
Okay.
I lost my last fight and I was just kind of worn out. I mean, I dedicated so much. Training was getting difficult. I was almost always alone. Yeah. I didn't have a lot of partners. Fighting wasn't as big 15 years ago in Miami. Not for Muay Thai anyway. So I wanted to do something else, and rugby was something I wanted to do since I was a kid, and I always thought I was built for that, like too small for football but too big for soccer.
Okay.
So I got into rugby, and in that aspect too, I was also wanting to do strongman. So finally, it's like I was out of a cage.
Right.
And I can do, because when you're training for a sport respectfully, that's all you should do.
Right.
So then I got into rugby, powerlifting, strongman, all the hard shit.
So it's funny that you talk about the rugby stuff. Last night, I actually just had this conversation last night. Do you feel like rugby players can actually play football?
I think rugby players are superior
to football players.
Fuck yeah. I don't care who does that. Now, look, bear with me. Both sports, respectfully, are different. Football is a collision sport.
Right.
Rugby is a contact sport.
Okay.
I have played rugby with football players, and I have demolished them.
Okay.
From 350 O-linemen to the ones that kind of do pretty well are the safeties, these kind of positions.
They're more mobile, more agile.
You're running for 80 minutes, man. Now, again, I always say that a full-blown, well-rounded rugby athlete is better because you're well-rounded. You have cardio, you have athleticism, you know how to tackle correctly. You have to also be very intelligent in multi-positional places. You have to be offense, defense, you have to move. Now, the specificity of football is very interesting. I'm not going to dog a running back that all he needs to do is perfect the craft of running.
Right.
But very, very few times where you see a running back that can catch or throw, right? In rugby, you have to play all the positions. So it's just like I'm going to make the choice in the sand. Rugby is just a superior sport because not only mentally but physically. That doesn't mean I don't like football. I think football is the fucking coolest, but rugby is just.
Why don't you think it catches that much traction in the States?
It's not commercial friendly like soccer. You know,
I
if you
guess that
look
makes
at it
sense.
from the business aspect, you can't stop a middle. It's more about money. You can't. There's no plays. The American
Right.
attention span is very short. It's like really quick. We need to have like right now basketball, football, and even baseball. It's falling off. It's still big,
Yeah,
but it's not like what it
I
used
can't
to
watch
be
a full baseball game.
because of our attention span. We need
Yeah.
commercials. We need shit happening. We need scores. I mean, the only time we watch baseball is in the playoffs because it's the best of the best.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's where I see rugby is like the soccer. You know, it's like you're looking at this, and unless you're brought up culturally, you don't know what the fuck's going on. I don't know what was going on when
Because
I
I
got
feel like
there.
a
on
lot of the
field.
same elements that people will love about football will
It's-
love about rugby.
It's fucking awesome, man. And once, honestly, once you play it and you live it, you have such a respect for it. It's definitely a drinking sport, you know.
Yeah.
It's like you're watching this play happen, but it's not commercial friendly. There's no plays, there's no instant action, there's great contact, but it's not collision like
But everything
football.
is improvised.
Correct.
Right.
And like football has like plays, you know, and you know who's gonna get fucking walloped. And
Yeah.
honestly, watching a football tackle is pretty fucking awesome too.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, my argument was this. I think I said like, imagine a 350-pound guy that runs like a 4.3
Right.
wreck you.
I mean, so I was playing at my fastest. I was like 245, 250. I'm 5'10". I was fucking fast. Like I can run not that that's a lot. Like 100 meters, I was probably running like in the low 10s, which is okay for a fat guy.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, but you're doing this constantly in the scrum, and it's like a wrestling match, and it's 80 minutes of battle. You know, but yeah, these guys. I mean, I've been hit by guys that are 275, 6'4". I'm like, what? And they don't stop. I'm
Yeah.
like, stop it.
Well,
you
because
know?
it is nonstop. Yeah.
It is. It's constant cardio. But again, you know, different positions. Because we'd also get football players that would come try it on. They're like, it's just too much cardio. They just didn't enjoy it. It's different perspective. Also, they would tackle with their faces forward and always break their noses. But that's a different
Yeah,
conversation.
because it's a different.
There's no face mask.
There's no. Yeah. Exactly. No
So
helmets.
you just elbow the guy in the mouth, and that's the end of that.
So with the whole, how long did you do the rugby for?
So I was part of the Miami Tridents. Go Tridents.
Okay.
There's two teams in Miami. There's the Miami Rugby RFC, which is our rivals. Fuck them. But and
didn't
then there's
know
the
that.
Miami Tridents. But I played for 2.5 seasons. And I said half a season because the last season I was a little banged up and I pulled out. And I played a prop. So the prop are the guys in the front row that bang into each other. It's
Yeah.
like an O lineman and a D lineman in the same place.
Okay.
And I was a small prop, but I was conditioned and I was aggressive.
Yeah.
So I played that about 2.5 years at the same time as doing strongman and powerlifting. So I was competing in powerlifting, strongman, and rugby at the same time.
But while playing rugby, you were already like physically getting training. Like yeah.
Yeah, I came from fighting, so my cardio was great.
Yeah.
It was just my size and my IQ. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing half
Yeah.
the time. And you have to be, especially in the prop, in the scrum, where you can break your neck, which you got close a couple times. You have to know what the fuck you're doing.
Yeah.
And you have to know what to do. It's not like you can just run around there eventually if you want to be good.
So I had no idea that Miami had a rugby team.
Yeah, so it's a Division II's men team. So it's a bunch of grown-ass men that do it because they love it.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, most of us,
So you gotta love it.
you have to
Yeah,
love it.
you have to
because you're
love that,
fucking
yeah.
yourself
Yeah,
up.
you have
And
to
then
love
it's a drinking culture. I had some of the best parties and stories of my fucking life because of rugby.
Yeah.
And it's a great culture.
Yeah, that sounds. Yeah, I would never do rugby.
It's violent, man. Yeah, there's something to be said about the motherfucker that goes out there.
I would put on pads and play, but not.
Yeah, no, man. But the women's team, they're just savages. Like anybody that plays rugby, man, woman, child, whatever,
Yeah.
it's just a culture.
So natural. You know what? You got to rugby and you did the Muay Thai. Wrestling never. Penn State got a wrestling team.
So when I was at
That
Penn
intrigue
State, when I went to Penn State, I was 20. So I just left Miami. I was up there. Martial arts was all I knew. I had no real guidance up there. I just wanted to go to school. I
Not
wanted
even
to
in
graduate.
high school though.
No, in high school I just did martial arts, man. And I should have, you know, like I wanted to play football, but I don't know if it was just anti-school spirit, but I didn't have a guidance. Like my older brother was 10 years older. He was doing his own thing. I didn't have like a cousin or somebody that played football.
Yeah.
My boys were all like doing graffiti or chilling, drawing,
yeah.
you know, bullshit, drinking. But I wish I would have, looking back.
Yeah.
Oh, I would have loved to play football. I think I would have been a fucking cool running back. I
Yeah.
think so.
I had a cousin that did wrestling, and it was pretty intense. Like I would go to
It's-
some matches, like, oh, I gotta make weight, throw
yeah.
up.
Well,
like-
yeah, that's where they used to wear garbage
Yeah.
bags and kids would die.
I was like, yo, what's going on here? man? So and that's why I find that interesting that you were into all these things, but like wrestling or something like that. Didn't
Not for school. I did wrestle. I've you know, I've trained in BJJ, wrestling, Silat, Filipino Kali, Jeet Kune Do, Muay Thai. I was a martial artist through and through. I love the art. You know, that's what I fell in love with. So I have practiced wrestling. Like I can't beat a wrestler in wrestling,
Yeah.
but I've learned from them.